is it okay to go the full weekend without a workout? I don't want to undo the work I've been putting in through the week, but I usually don't schedule any fitness in for the weekend. But then I start to feel a little bit guilty. Okay, quick answer is absolutely fine to go the full weekend without a workout. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to start losing muscle mass, and it takes 2 weeks to start to feel a difference in your cardio fitness as well. And it's similar for flexibility too. So it's absolutely fine to take the weekend. And I think more really what the question is underlying is it is that guilt of feeling like, have I done enough? Will I go backwards? Wanting to do the best and wanting to do the right thing. But actually, rest is really, really productive. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand or realize. So, what we do when we work out is we work our muscles, and our heart is a muscle as well. So, whether that be cardio fitness or strength fitness, we work our muscles. So, we create a stress and a strain on the muscle. Sounds horrible, but it's a good kind of stress and strain. So when we strength train, for an example, we're creating little micro tears. Now, those micro tears need a little bit of TLC to also fix themselves. So let's say we've done upper body strength. We've worked really hard. We've upped our weight. We've really challenged and we've really stimulated the muscles. Now, those muscles need a little bit of recovery time. So the next day, you might think, okay, great, there's a holistic on the timetable. I'm going to do that. Or you might think, oh, it's lower body strength tomorrow. Okay, great. Well, I did upper body yesterday. So today I'm going to do lower body. Give those muscles some rest. But also equally, we get to the end of the week and you've done, say, 5 days of workouts. The body needs some rest, and rest is productive. So that's where we actually get stronger, where our muscles repair themselves. Of course, with adequate fuel, adequate protein, and water. That is how we get stronger, and that's how we see results. Compare that with somebody who is training every single day, or someone who is training and are not allowing themselves to recover enough. So might be training really, really hard or training more than they used to and not having adequate recovery time. Recovery time looks different for everybody. It depends on your chapter of life. When you go through perimenopause and post, we need a little bit of extra recovery buffer, generally speaking. If we're training really hard for, say, a half marathon, you do a long run, in one day recovery might not be enough. You might need a couple of days in a row. You're going for a place where you're just joining us and then all of a sudden you're doing 5 days of fitness in a row. The weekend might be what you need. You might need a full weekend to recover, to come back feeling fresh. Either way, it's not going to do any harm at all whatsoever, and your body is going to thank you and actually get stronger for it. But if you go to the weekend and you're feeling in a place where actually, oh, do you know what? I really want to do one. Like, I just really fancy doing a workout, then great, go for it. But if it's coming from a place of guilt, I would say I'd question it. I'd say, is it coming from a place of guilt because I full well know that I have not done enough fitness, as in I haven't even met the recommended NHS requirements to be a healthy person? Or is it coming from a place of guilt because I feel like I should always be doing more because I'm comparing myself with other people or what I see on Instagram? But I know that I have done enough for me and I've done enough to be healthy. And it also depends on how you want to use your weekends as well. Like, you might think, do you know what? I'm going to get my workouts done in the week because weekends is family time. And I know we're going to be moving around, probably go on a walk, or we're going to go to an activity center, or we're going to go and do this. That might be what your weekends look like. And that's also fine too. That's great. And actually that would also include some movement. I would say I'd question where it's coming from and also kind of put it into context. Am I doing enough? Am I getting a couple of strengths in a week? Am I doing enough for me? Am I doing for me in this chapter right now? And am I seeing results? So some people who, okay, don't do enough, don't see results, but also some people who do too much for their body or what their body is used to also don't see results because they don't get to recover. So I'll go back to the example where, say, someone is training every single day. They'll get frustrated because they feel like they're putting so much work in, but not seeing the results from their workouts because their body just doesn't have time to recover. But actually, especially if you follow our timetable, because I lay it all out so you have active rest days in there as well. For example, Monday stretch session, active rest day. So if you follow that and then, you take the weekend's rest, you'll be absolutely fine. Or you follow the double and you take the weekend's rest, again, totally fine. Or you might do 4 of the days and do one of those workouts at the weekend. So you have a rest midweek and a rest at the weekend. Or you might do the 5 days and you might do one, say you follow plan A and you really fancy that workout from plan B, you just do it on a Sunday morning because you fancy it. But that's the difference, because you fancy it, not because you're feeling guilty about it. What we don't want to create is resentment around exercise. You know, exercise is a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to move our bodies. Like, we get to exercise, not we have to exercise. So exercise for the enjoyment, for longevity, for quality of life, for feeling good, not because you feel like you have to do more. So yes, absolutely fine to take the full weekend without a workout. You will not go backwards and undo any work in 2 days. But really, really good question. So thank you for asking that. What are the best protein sources when I don't eat a lot of fish or meat? I know about lentils and chickpeas, etc., but there is probably more to know. Okay, so really interestingly with protein, there are some sources that are incomplete and some that are complete. So there's kind of like a bit of a hierarchy going on with protein. So I feel like we should talk about that and what protein actually is as well. So protein is made up of amino acids. And there are 9 essential amino acids, and these are the amino acids that our body cannot create itself. So there are a lot that the body can create itself, but these are the ones that the body cannot. So we have to get them from our diet. Now, complete proteins are protein sources where that food contains all of the essential amino acids. So great. And there are lots of different kinds of proteins that are incomplete because they don't contain all the essential amino acids.